Come on, baby, steer it on. Yeah, darling, steer it out. It's been a long, long time since I got you on my mind. Now you are here, I say, it's so clear. See what we could do, honey, just me and you. Yeah, steer it up. Yeah, darling, steer it up. Come on, baby, steer it up. Yeah, darling, steer it up. I push the wood, I'll blaze your fire. Said I'll satisfy your desire. Steer it up, every minute. All you gotta do is do your part, yeah, steer it up. Yeah, oh darling, steer it up. Come on, baby, steer it up. Yeah, oh darling, steer it up. Quench me, baby, when I'm thirsty. Cool me down when I'm hot. Your recipe, darling, is so tasty. And you sure can steer your pot, yeah, steer it up. Yeah, darling, steer it up. Come on, baby, steer it up. Yeah, darling, steer it up.
We're gonna give it like 10 more minutes.
dizzy. For my brain is where I be. Insanity, it seems, it's got me by my soul to squeeze. Will I know? I just don't know. Got to take it slow. When I find my peace of mind, gonna carry some of my good time. I'll let you out there free. Take away my self-destruction. The angels in my dreams, they turn to demons of greed. That's me. Where I go, I just don't know. Got to take it slow. When I find my peace of mind, gonna carry some of my good time. I'll let you out there free. Over the dying trees I breathe. The angels in my dreams, they turn to demons of greed. That's me. Where I go, I just don't know. Got to take it slow. When I find my peace of mind, gonna carry some of my good time. got to take it slow. When I find my peace peace of mind. Gonna give you some of my good time. And I know I just don't know. Might end up somewhere in Mexico. Yeah, I found my peace of mind. Gonna keep it for the end of time. Cause you know I was trailed by 20 hands. Didn't get to sleep that night till the morning came around. Said I wasn't gonna take my time, friend, but the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, plus my guess and sleep tonight. Ran into the devil with a lonely 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in the cave up in the hills. Said I wasn't gonna take my time, friend, but the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, plus my kiss and sleep tonight. Went to the levee, but the devil called me there. Took my $20 bill and vanished in thin air. Said I wasn't gonna take my time, friend, but the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just my kiss and sleep tonight.
Thank you all so much for joining us today to celebrate the life of Jay Cermak. If y'all would come a little bit closer just so that everyone can hear and we can just be as close as we possibly can to each other. We're going to start with a poem being read by George Figueroa. George, take it away.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
If anyone could ever personify a ray of sunshine, it was our dear, funny, silly, and very generous Jay. This mic?
Right behind you.
Oh.
There you go.
Very good. Can you hear me? Nope. Hello? Hello? Okay, very good.
If Jay was here, he would have had this all figured out.
You're right. Good morning again, everybody. As I was saying, if anyone could ever personify a ray of sunshine, it was our dear, funny, silly, generous Jay. The personal and professional legacy he leaves behind for all of us that knew him will bear fruit for years, if not decades, to come. Whether you only knew him professionally or if you were lucky enough to be counted as one of his friends, I'm here to tell you, and I need you to believe me. Jay was brimming with gratitude for each and every one of you. All that gratitude is now not lost. It is now in the universe for us to bask in it like the sunshine he so loved. Here, I will offer you a poem that has and continues to give me comfort in moments like this, in hopes that it will do the same for you. The poem is called Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Holland, Regius Professor of Divinity at University of Oxford. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away to the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the way which you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh, as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effect, without the trace of a shadow in it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same that it ever was. There is absolute, unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind simply because I'm out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. Nothing is past. Nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before, only better, infinitely happier, and forever. We will all be one together.
Now, Michael Garuli is going to play a few songs for us.
Noisy at the fair, all your friends are there. The candy floss you had, your mother and your dad. Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain. Though you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. You're leaving there too soon. There's a girl just down the aisle. Turn and see her smile. You can hear the words she wrote, you read her hidden note. Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain. Though you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. You're leaving there too soon. So you're underneath the stairs, you're giving back some prayers to some people that you met, and it's your first cigarette. Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain. Though you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. You're leaving there too soon. So you say you're leaving home, cause you wanna be alone. And it's funny how it feels when you're finding out it's real. And it's funny how it feels when you're finding out it's real. Oh, to live on Sugar Mountain with the barkers and the colored balloons. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain. Though you're thinking that you're leaving there too soon. You're leaving there too soon.
Thanks for having me, everybody. I appreciate it. Would anyone else like to say anything?
So, Alan Waxman, I'd like to invite you up to share with us.
Today is Jay's 42nd birthday. The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of his birth and spoke the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters most is how we live and how we love and how we've spent our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way others feel and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved them before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions rehashed, would you be proud of the things they say about you and how you lived your dash? The Jay I knew would be extremely proud of how he lived his dash. Jay came to us, I tried to figure it out, 8 to 10 years ago, as an aspiring real estate sales professional, and found quite quickly his calling was in technology at that time. And without a market center technician, without an opportunity to get paid, Jay stepped in and helped everybody that had needs with technology. I remember he was helping Corey and Heather and their team for quite some time. And when we went through, for those of you who are on the executive leadership team, when we went through the transition from .loop, I promise you, if it wasn't for Jay, we wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have made that transition. Would not have happened. Jay's love for people ensued, and recognized that he could touch more people by being a team leader and a productivity coach than he could through technology. He taught fearlessly in all three of the offices, daily in all three of the offices. He helped people like me who don't even know how to turn on a computer actually understand a little bit what I'm doing and know that when I think it's broken, it's really not. And he used to tell me all the time, just turn it off, Alan, reboot it. Okay, I could do that. That I could do. Then I would reboot it and the same miserable screen was up and I would holler, Jay, come help me. And he'd come running. He's not gonna be running here any longer. So I made some quick notes of things. Might not make any sense. I'm gonna try. Please find peace. Stop fighting. Stop arguing. Everybody is good. in their own right, talk about people the way you'd like them to talk about you. That's what today is. That's Jay's Dash. We have an opportunity to do that now as we're still all here. Life is a journey, it's not a destination. And like in the Dash said, we have no idea when it comes to an end. Please tell everyone that you love how much you love them. And those you don't love, try to. Give them the dignity of your love, because they deserve it. Everybody is doing the best they can with all of the struggles that they're going through. All of us. And along the journey I wrote here, just live life with happiness and fulfillment, whatever that means for you. There's a great line in bold, one of the great bold laws. It says, fear or faith you choose. Please choose faith. Things are tough right now. We've been through a heck of a 2 years. Oh, I don't care. Mo can find me. We've been through a hell of 2 years. It's been brutal. Most of you don't know what I've gone through personally, and I don't know what you've gone through personally. But let's just assume that you know what you've gone through personally, and assume that everybody else has gone through equally as many struggles as you have. Jay would want me to take this opportunity to share these messages with you. I know he would. He spoke to me last night. He asked me to. Pain comes to all of us. All of us. But we have an opportunity to break that mindset, that painful mindset, and say, no more. You know, that mindset that says, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not qualified enough. To hell with that. We're all perfect where we are right this very moment. Because that's not good enough as a lie. Don't allow your past to predict your future. We're all stuck somewhere right now that we'd like to get through. In order to break through, we have to have breakdowns. And I don't know about you, but I'm going through massive breakdowns right now. But I know that when I'm alone with myself, either in my car or on my nightly walk with my cigar, yes, for those of you who don't know, I smoke cigars, I'm at peace, and I can think. And I make promises to myself, to the Almighty, to my wife, to my kids. Because their life would be a lot harder without me. For those who love you, their lives would be a lot harder without you. Don't leave here today and forget this message, please. Please. What we do for a living is real estate. That's not who we are. We are good people. We all have something that we believe in that causes us to do the right thing most of the time. Let's do the right thing all of the time. And don't say that you don't know what the right thing is, because we always know what the right thing to do is. Whether we do it or not is a different choice. I wrote the words bumps and bruises. Bumps and bruises. And I remember when my kids were young, and for those of you who have kids or nieces and nephews and you help them learn to ride a bike, they all fell off the bike, right? And your pain was, if like mine, your pain was greater than theirs. They had these bumps and these bruises. And they said, it's okay, Daddy, it's okay, Mommy. And what did they want to do? They wanted to get back on the bike and learn to ride the bike so they can go ride with their friends. These bumps and bruises come to all of us as adults even more. More often and more painful. When that happens, choose to be with it and choose a breakthrough. Be with those bumps and bruises. Allow them to run their course. Choose the people in your life that you know can help you through those bumps and bruises. and allow them to. Don't keep them to yourself. Where's Jacob? Jacob? Raise your hand, Jacob. There you are. Okay? Raise your hand, young man. Yeah. And I'll close with this. Don't, please, if not for yourself, for me, don't base your personal value and personal worth on what other people think about you. That's not who you are. You know, I heard it once said that in politics, you're fortunate if 50% of the people love you. That means the other 50% want to see you gone. Think about that. Think about how unbelievably brutal and foolish that really is. And they don't even know who you are. We don't even know who they are. Don't base who you are on what other people say or think you are. You know who you are. I got an email from someone in our Fort Lauderdale office who was in pain over this. And she ended by saying, remember how many people love you. Oh my God, there she is, Debbie Wysocki. Thank you for that. She ended by saying, remember how many people love you. Because it's tough in the moment, especially if you're a leader, and we're all leaders. Most people don't hear that. And again, I'm telling you, I had a conversation with Jay last night, and he begged me to share these messages. And last but not least, not a rabbi, not a priest, not a minister, just a 68-year-old Jewish guy in the red zone of his life. And I've learned a lot of lessons. And one of the lessons I've learned is if you don't have peace on the inside, you will never have peace on the outside. And what peace on the outside looks like is what other people see when they see you. Do they see the real you? Or do they see a camouflage version of who you want them to see? If you want them to see the real you, then you must have peace inside. You must. Find out what that is and move towards that as quickly as possible. Wherever you find that. Personally, for me, I find that at shul. For those of you who aren't Jewish, that's synagogue. I find that there. Wherever you find it, please go. Surface relationships in your life are simply that. They're just surface relationships. They're the people. There was another poem that we shared in the Market Center. It was called Season, a Reason, or a Lifetime. And surface relationships are those people who come to your life for a season. They're in and they're out. They're gone. And like that, poof, they're gone. A season. 1 week, 1 day, 1 month, 3 months. And they came because they had a need. And you help them fulfill it. That's surface. And there's a reason people come to you, right? Like Jay came to us for a reason. And he was searching and he went other places for a reason and came back to us for a reason. His happy place was always Fort Lauderdale, right? Right, Dave? Right here on the beach. You guys know I'm not a Facebook guy, but my wife shows me posts I'm supposed to see. And Jay was always on the beach taking pictures of his toes and always, it's amazing. His toes in the sand. And then there's those who come to our lives for a lifetime. Those are your friends and family and loved ones. Those are the people who love you deeply. Choose that side of the equation, the reason and especially the lifetime. And understand those who come into your life for a season, that's superficial, it's surface. And don't believe what they say about you or why they left. And in closing, please always remember you're the choice. It's fear or faith. Please choose faith, because what I promise you, whatever you're dealing with in that moment will come to pass. Thanks, guys.
I'd like to invite Christine Swanson.
Gosh, I don't even know if I could talk. Jay was so many things to so many people. And to me, one of my best friends. I'll miss his laugh, sarcasm, his non-judgmental support, his giving heart. And my hope is that he rests peacefully, knowing how many people loved him. He was truly one of a kind, one of the smartest people that I've ever known. Words are not going to be able to describe how much I'll miss him. And we have such great memories that will live on forever. He is my forever bench, my golden girl, and I wish him a happy birthday. We love you, Jay. I can't anymore. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry. I wanted to invite Ashley if she wants to come up.
Ashley, would you like to come up?
She may not be able to talk.
Well, there'll be more time in a minute. So I'm going to invite Victoria to come up now, and if there's anyone that would like to share anything after Victoria, just come on up here and we'll give you an opportunity to share your memories of Jay.
Thank you, everybody. Happy birthday, Jay. I thought long and hard about writing something, and then I really felt that it was better I spoke from the heart. From the moment I walked into Fort Lauderdale office, Jay was the first person I would see in the morning. And I think I can say for him, he challenged me from the start. He challenges everybody with his goofy style, his knowledge of Keller Williams, his passion for excellence, and truly being extraordinaire. He loved everybody 1,000%, and he had many gifts beyond. He was not just a colleague. He was a close friend, not just to me, to so many people across the country. He touched so many people, and I'm grateful that we could all be together today and that people are sharing their stories so that his memory will continue to live forever, because he will forever be in our hearts. And I thank you so much for sharing. Shine bright, Jay.
Would anyone else like to share?
There's a lot of us that aren't okay right now, and that's okay. I know that somehow, if he were here, he'd find a way to work a Disney song in. I can always,
Mellow, right?
right? Or just, when you're having a serious moment and, the words "Let It Go" are in there, you hear Let It Go" singing from the room. A lot of people have called me from all over the country. Jay did a lot of training with the Alliance, formerly NAGLREP, different organizations I'm involved in. I want to share with you that I'm in the process through the initiative in starting a scholarship in Jay's name. And I want, I want his name. I want his name to be associated with giving power and giving education to others. So that's what I'm working on, and you'll have we'll get the information out once the board approves it. So I just wanted to share that with you.
And as soon as we have information about that from Dave, there's going to be a page on the Waxman Group website forever. It's going to be kwwaxman.com/J. It'll be a place to memorialize him digitally. I want to invite all of you who are here, if you don't want to come up and say something in person, you can go to kwwaxman.com/J and click a button and share your memories there. And all of those memories will be given to Jay's family so that they can read through them to see how many lives he impacted on a daily basis. Is there anyone else that'd like to share? Yeah, come on up.
So I want to share a special moment that we had with Jay. And it happened to be in our last conversation with him by chance. But Jay and Zach and I, we would always laugh because I would be talking to blah, 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 blah. And so with Jay, blah, 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 blah. And we'd both, right? And so we'd be in a meeting and Zach would be very quietly sitting, in the background, just listening to Jay and I just blah, 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 the whole meeting. And in one of the last conversations we had, first off, I had just hugged Milo because it was her first listing. So I got to hug Milo and I was like, yes, I was able to hug Milo. And he was like looking for Zach and we couldn't find Zach. And in the last conversation we had with him, we laughed because him and I made a joke about Disney and about how we would be really great dancers at Disney together because we were both so all the time. And in this last conversation, one of the things he said to us, and I think it'll stick with me not only in the real estate realm, but also just in life across in general. He always told me, and I mentioned it on the page the other day, have fun in everything that you do. He's like, in every single thing that you do, always remember to shine as bright as you do, and don't let that light dull. So that's how I would like to remember him, and how that's my last thought of him letting us know that this light that he had was an infectious thing, and it was something that he wanted us to go on with. He said it, he's like, please continue to do that joyful, fun you that you have in everything that you do. Real estate wasn't like a serious thing, it was you were changing someone's life. And that's because I shared with him that coming from a world that I was doing EMT and firefighting, I felt like it was like, oh, now I'm just doing this real estate thing. And he was like, oh no, you're doing the same thing. You're like giving somebody else a dream. And so him and I made a little song. I don't think even Zach knows about it. We made a little song that day about how we would one day perform this at Disney together. And so he's, I can't remember the part that he did because he even did like a whole thing to it. And I was like, I can't do that, But it was something like, and then we jazz hand. And he said, well, now every time you get a listing or you do like, you get a buyer, that's what you're going to do. And I thought of him this weekend because we're close to doing that. So whenever I do, I'll remember to jazz hands and remember him. So I wanted to share that with you guys.
Anyone else? Yeah, Nadine.
So mine will be really brief. I just wanted to say that I love Jay so much. We got a lot closer the last year or so. And one of the things that was amazing, being a boomer and not technologically savvy, he always made me feel like I knew what I was doing, which is amazing. And he was never that person that made you feel like, what's wrong with you? You don't know how to do this? So he actually gave me so much confidence, and I think he shared confidence with all of us, and I think he really made life easier for so many people, and I'm not sure how many people can say that in their lives, that they really have spent their life making life easier or better for everyone they came in contact with.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, everybody. Thanks all for coming. It's so good to have you here. One of my favorite memories of Jay is coming into the office and he would completely decorate the office. Like, my desk was just free reign, and he would be there before I even came in, and I'd get there pretty early. And it would just be like magic just happened on my desk area. And in the next would be the training room, and then I go into the break room, and he just like decorated everything and brought his sunshine to the office like every holiday. So I just invite you all, like each holiday, just come in and visit my desk and help. Everybody can come decorate now in his memory and just to make my desk look great, and we'll always remember him when we decorate the office. Thank you so much.
So a few years ago, we lost Jay to, I guess, Arizona when he decided to become a team leader. And I remember as the ALC, we were at the Margaritaville in Hollywood. And I guess this was when we were doing our rollout. And, correct? And Alan was going to go ahead and try and explain to us about this technical function. And that's adorable. It was. And what was nice about it was that they were able to go ahead and get Jay on the monitor behind us. And Jay was starting to go ahead and explain something. And they worked it out really well where Alan stepped on something and the screen went into snow. And eventually he's like, you could hear Jay in the background saying, oh, fuck, I'll come and fix it. And the next thing you know, Jay walks in the front door. And the people and the emotions that we all had that Jay was back, and it just did wonders for us that Jay was back. And I know this time around, if there's some technical issues, Jay's not going to be back. But I know that Jay's in every single one of us somewhere along the way. Jay was always there to go ahead and help out if there was a challenge. Jay was always there to give you advice or to make you laugh, make you sing, or do your jazz thing with Jigger. So Jay may not be here in person, but I know that he's in every one of us.
So I'm a little feeling awkward because why am I talking about Jay? We were not close, we were not friends. He was my real estate coach for the past year. And the thing is, regardless of his big personality and his humor and his smart and his ability to train and teach and encourage and inspire, beyond all that, one thing that was always so clear to me, and we weren't even close, we weren't personal friends, but the bottom line is that he was a good and decent person. And when you meet a good and decent person, that stays with you. And so with all of Jay's, you know, whether he was a close personal friend and there's so much to remember about him, or you had a close professional relationship, or just kind of saw him in the room one time, because he was a good and decent person, and that's a treasure in this world, that his goodness will reverberate with everybody, his family, his friends, his colleagues, and just wanted to say that.
Anyone else? Yeah, Chris.
So I met Jay in 2013. Jay walked into our career night, Keller Williams, and there was a room full of people. There was one smile there that just made my night like amazing. And to watch Jay grow and inspire and teach and come from such unconditional love has changed the person I am today. Because of that, he will always be in my heart, and he'll be missed forever. After we finish up, if you'd please join me, I want to do a little ceremony with some roses, and I want to create a big, beautiful heart of roses out in the field, because people come into our lives, and people go out of our lives very quickly. So take the time and cherish and love every minute of what is there. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah.
I'll just share one brief memory of when I first met Jay. About a year ago, I'm in the PC coaching program, so it's been such an intense year because you get to know your coaches and your fellow agents really, really well in this very intense environment. And I had, the opportunity to open a door for another agent, Abby. I don't know, I've never met Abby, but if she's here in Boca, she needed someone to open a door, and he gave me the opportunity to earn my first dollar in real estate. And I was so excited, and he put his arms around me, and this was still like COVID mask situation, and he said, "We're gonna change the trajectory of your life," speaking on behalf of the whole organization and program and himself. And it was just something that stuck with me because we barely knew each other, but he just believed in us, and I just thought that always stuck with me, and I wish him happiness and peace up there, and he'll always be in my heart, certainly.
Anyone else? Yeah.
I did not know Jay that well except through Zoom during COVID. He was part of the coaching program on Fridays at 9 a.m. with Bill Hobbs. And I think we all have like amazing and maybe not so amazing memories of COVID training at KW, but you never forget what someone teaches you. But what I do know about Jay and my passion outside of KW is that he was a singer, and he loved Broadway. And I met him for the first time in person at our Coral Springs grand opening last year. And we were sharing videos of him on stage with Gary Keller. Then I showed him some videos of some artists I know. And it's like, of course, we're all saying, wow, I wish I would have learned more about him. But artists have a different way of using their brains, and they're the most sensitive people here on earth in this lifetime. So for those who are in the arts, if you have children, family members, always keep that in mind. They think differently, they will react differently, they will feel differently. And anyway, music connects us all, and Jay loved music.
I think we got time for one or two more. Anyone else? All right, well, I'd like to share something. I am the newer guy here in Fort Lauderdale. I did not have a personal relationship with Jay at the local level. However, he and I had done some things together at the Keller Williams International level, and we got to know each other there. And here's one of the things that I will tell you about Jay from my experience in the Keller Williams International level. That guy could walk into any room he was ever in with the top of the top people in our company, and he never met a stranger, and he didn't treat them any differently because of who they were. And I think that that is the premise of what he did in his entire life. He treated everyone as though they were the most important person in the room that day. I think so many of our new agents got to experience that with him as their coach. And it reminded me of something that I learned back in college from one of my music professors. He said to us one day, "Don't forget what you're doing has longevity and will far exceed anything that you ever realize here on earth. The impact that you make every single day will be felt for generations and generations." And it could be something as simple as looking somebody in the eyes and smiling at them on a day where they're not having a good one. That could change the direction of the rest of their life. And it reminded me also of a TED Talk that I showed our executive leadership team that Jay was actually in. This was back in January, and it's called The Lollipop Moment by a gentleman named Drew Dudley. And Drew Dudley was a professor up in Canada, and he was known as doing some of the funniest things at this university. And every single year they had this event called Shinorama, where they were raising money for cystic fibrosis. And he shared the story of a younger girl who was there that day and came up to him and said, I've got to share something with you. When she found out he was leaving the university, about something that had happened when she first got there. She said, "The day that I was supposed to sign up for the university is the day that I met you, and I had really, really strong convictions in me that I shouldn't go to college. And I didn't want to. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't think that this was for me." And she said, "But Drew, you changed that all. You walked out of the building in the craziest, dumbest hat I've ever seen before, and you were handing out lollipops to every single one of us in line, and there was a gentleman standing next to me that I'd never met before in my life. And you gave him a lollipop, and you said to him, 'You should give the lollipop to the beautiful girl standing right next to you.'" And so he looked at her and gave her the lollipop, and she says, "See, she's already taking candy from a stranger." And she said, "At that moment, I realized that I was where I needed to be because you made me feel comfortable, you made me feel safe, and you showed me that I was going to get to have fun." And what Drew goes on to share in that TED Talk called The Lollipop Moment is there's so many moments in our lives that we have an impact on people, or that people have an impact on us, that can be some of the smallest things, and we may never, ever know about them. So my challenge to you today, as we memorialize Jay, is for you to pull out your phone and send somebody a text message and tell them how they've impacted your life. Because that's something that we don't do enough. We don't share gratitude enough in our world. We don't share the experiences that people have given us with them enough in our world. And unfortunately, so many times we share those experiences on a Facebook wall after they can't read them anymore. My challenge to you today would be to share with the people who are here, who have impacted your life, how they've impacted you and how they've changed you, and what that will do going forward, because unfortunately, like I said, so many people don't get to experience that. One of the things we'd like to invite you to do today is we have a poster over there. If you haven't filled that out, we'd love for you to fill that out with just your memories of Jay on there as well. We'll be sending that to Jay's family. And after our service is over today, if you'd like to walk down to Aruba, I know there's a lot of us that are going to be walking down there to have lunch. Make sure you extend your parking if you're going to do that. I'm not paying for any tickets today. And we're so grateful for you being here. And I'd like to close us in a prayer today. So if you please bow your heads. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, if you didn't get a flower, we have flowers that you can take with you to memorialize Jay on your desk or in a frame, however you'd like to do that. Father, we come before you now thanking you so much for Jay and the impact he made on the lives of every single person standing here today, and on the lives of every single person who we impact because of who he was in our lives. I thank you so much for who he was. who he is and who his legacy will continue to be through us. I pray that you be with us, be with our hearts. Help us to understand that we do get through this and that we can be that shining light that Jay always encouraged us to be. We ask all of these things in all the names that we know you as holy. Amen.